Today I've got another weekly fashion challenge for us, and it's all free. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This week's free fashion challenge is photo inspiration. A lot of people call this like the Pinterest challenge, but personally, you can really find inspirational photos for your fashion wardrobe anywhere. It can be Instagram, LTK, Shop My, Substack, you name it. So really what it is you find a couple of pictures of something that is semi-doable, maybe a little out of your comfort zone, then you can recreate something very similar to it with staples that you have in your own closet. Now, one kind of pro tip is the better way to kind of go about it at first if you're struggling is to maybe pick an item of clothing that you want to work with and then put that into the internet search. For example, I did that a couple months ago when I bought some camo pants. I knew I could make them work with my wardrobe, but I just really wanted to kind of stretch those. So I just put it into the phone, and then I got a couple of pictures that popped up, and I thought, oh, that's great. So I will be showing that one, and then I have, I believe, 2 other looks that I want to show you, and really they are nothing groundbreaking, but there's something that you can get the vibe of that's comfortable enough, but just pushes you a little bit to use what you've got in a different way. So let's get into my first outfit. This first look is trousers, a tank top, a baseball hat, and some tennis shoes. I really love this because this is like my perfect outfit to a T. I also love it because even if you're traveling or if you're out and about, you can be wearing trousers that you need to wear maybe for work. Say you're at a work conference or something, but then maybe after the morning meeting, then you have some free time to run around the city. And you don't really want to 100% change, but you want to kind of bring it down a little bit and make it a little modern and just more relaxed. So let's see how I did. All right, as you can see, she had a white tank top on, and I didn't have one like this that wasn't too cropped. So I did have a gray one, and I thought, okay, let's just work with what we've got. I think this still gives the vibe because I do have a white shirt that I could have used, and I can still use this, but I felt like it would change the look a little bit. Still great, and I actually have done this before, but she really kind of had more of what I call like that kind of masculine kind of tank top on, so I really wanted to go for that vibe. So I grabbed this. I think this is just an old tank top from Target. I have my tried and true black trousers. These were probably 2 or 3 years old from Walmart, actually. So really, it's not even about like expensive stuff. It's about what's in your closet. And then if you have the availability, don't be afraid to borrow things from family members or friends if they let you. This hat is not mine, but it's making me realize, hey, I need a white hat. I love this thing. It's just an aloha hat, but it matches the shoes. So I think overall, this is a decent rendition of my inspiration photo. Super cozy and comfortable. And what I love about this that I'm realizing is that I could, if it's warm outside, wear this easily. But again, if I'm out and about or traveling or anything, I can throw a sweater or a sweatshirt over my shoulders. I could throw a light jacket over this, and it would change the look, but keep me comfortable as needed. And if I was at a work environment, I could even throw on the sweater or the jacket over this and then take the hat off and then just be able to swap out throughout the day. So what do you guys think? This next look is going to be a real-time experiment with you guys. I have not even tried these looks, but there's this awesome Instagrammer. I think her name's Indy or India. I'll put her link below. I love her crazy looks, but they just seem really wild for me. But one of the ones she did was this. It is a floral floor-length dress and some heels, and then she put like some edginess to it with a beautiful red like leather motorcycle jacket on with it. And I love the idea of that, but I just don't have a ton of dresses that would kind of fit that vibe. So there's 2 options for me. I'm gonna try one first. Let me pick up what I just dropped. And then if this doesn't work, then I can try the other one. But again, they're not gonna be 100%, but I'm just trying for that vibe. So I do have a black and white and gray floral dress, but it is not as flowy. It's definitely more of like a thicker cotton. But I did have kind of a wild colored jacket that's like a moto jacket, and this is old Scoop, like one of the original lines that Scoop came out with. And I just can't get rid of it. I love it. It's just polyurethane, but it's so cute. So I will try this one, or this is something that Allison Bornstein encouraged me to try a while back, and I still haven't done that either. So I thought, well, why not try it now? This would be great. So this, it kind of doesn't look like much right now, is a pretty much floor length floral dress. It's a little bit more flowy. It's sheer though, so it does have a liner dress underneath it. Now the trick to this one though is that it is like a turtleneck dress. And so hers was a little more open here, which I kind of liked, but it doesn't matter. I can try with what I've got. Again, we're going for a vibe, not an exact dupe, because we want to be ourselves in this. So here's the long dress. And then I have this style, kind of like the modern, more motorcycle type of jacket. And it's just a perforated leather. I've had it forever, but I just wanted to start reincorporating it into my wardrobe again. I used to wear this like daily, and then it just got pushed to the back of the closet. So I thought this might be kind of a fun take on that too. So let's try them out. Prove that this is a real-time experiment, and this is the whole point of this, is to just try things on in your closet. I would not wear this look. I think that I did not catch the vibe at all with this one, but I hope that part 2 will actually be a little bit better. But I just want to show you some of the problems that I feel like this one has. So yes, there's floral. Yes, there's like a kind of a beefy motorcycle jacket in an odd color and pointy toe shoes. But I just don't feel like it's translating at all what she was doing. Her shoes had a little bit of edge to them in a pretty way, and they kind of blended better. And then the floor length, kind of more flowy dress definitely helps a lot. This just looks like I was dressed like very properly, and then I got cold and just put on a random jacket. Like, I just don't feel comfortable in this, but I thought it was important to show you guys that this is kind of part of the experiment of this, is to just get in your closet and play and go, okay, what could I do to change this up to make it more me or make it more doable? Or, hey, this is just an epic fail, let's put it back and start over. So let's get the second one on and see if that kind of helps a little bit. Okay, I feel so much better in this already, and I think it's because of the silhouettes. So yes, this is not exactly what she put on, but you can see this is kind of how I made it my own. This dress is much longer and kind of has just a more femininity to it. And then I kind of went outside of my comfort zone and threw on my more like spicy shoes. I love these shoes so much. Do they match? I don't know. They're snake print with like a skin nude tone to me on them, but I just liked the vibe. They felt a little bit more like what she kind of had on there. They're just like a sexier shoe. And this does, I think, toughen up the look enough for me because it's not overly feminine. It's very clean lined. It's different than the typical moto jacket, but it still has that kind of edge to it. You know, it's got a lot of details and the perforation in it. Yeah, it's a little bit like less Harley Davidson, more like speed bike, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. And then she was just holding on to like a little bit of a statement bag, which I think is super fun to add to the mix as well. Like, I think I'm going to challenge myself and actually try to wear this outfit. Now, if I was a little bit uncomfortable with these shoes, I still think you should have closed-toed shoes if you're going to be wearing, you know, like a big jacket over the top. It's just something in my brain, and I like the pointiness of it. You could, you know, just put a simple nude shoe on, or the black heels I had, or just whatever you've got, you know, but I do like the overall look of it. And I don't know, you guys have to tell me, I think it's much better than the blue and black and white one, but you got to tell me what your vote is. Right, this next look was actually my first real attempt at trying to kind of recreate a look based on a photo that I had found. Again, like I said, I had bought some camo pants, and I was like, how can I wear these in a different way where it's just not your typical like camo pants and a t-shirt? And I came across this photo. Now, you're gonna see this picture here. So you're gonna see nothing is exact. She's really buttoned up. I could do that too if I wanted to and continue to button it, but I have a V-neck sweater, and I just like my collar opened a little bit. She has chunky gold jewelry on, so I just dug around around and found some costume gold jewelry, threw some of my biggest gold earrings on, and then I had my white button down, button up. And the one difference is that I don't usually buy like jogger style pants because of me being a pear shape. So my pants are more of like a straight or wide leg, and I don't have like the black shoes, but I had nude ones. So I thought, okay, it gives a similar vibe. I do think that maybe the black version of these shoes would be better because it kind of sandwiches the look a little bit. I feel like it kind of goes from dark and like high contrast to more neutral. So I am seeing a little bit of an issue with that. I don't love it, but it's what I've got. And so the other thing I thought I could try, and we're gonna try this in real time too, is I've talked to you guys about this little gun here. So I thought, what if I just sort of like pin the wide leg part of the bottom of my pants, and we'll see what that looks like. And if it's terrible, then I can just pop it out and it's not a big deal. So I'm just going to kind of refer back to my like late 80s, early 90s, I guess, and try to kind of figure out a way to kind of make these a little bit folded over and skinny. Okay, I got one in, so we'll see if that helps. Well, it definitely gives a little bit of a different look. Let me try the other leg and we'll see. I don't know that I would wear this 100%. I'd have to play with it a little bit, and I could loosen it up just a little as well. But you get the idea, and it's kind of fun to have this tool so that we can actually try this look. Okay. So again, not perfect. It's more like just to give you guys the vibe. So I kind of accidentally made barrel leg pants, I think. But that's okay. That's kind of what's fun about it. And I mean, what did that take? Like 1 minute to try to change the look, and I can literally just break it off if I don't like it, or if I want to like readjust and kind of play with it a little bit. And I do have to say, it kind of gives you a different way to wear your pants. Yeah, look, I mean, I literally think I made a little bit of like a barrel jean. What do you guys think? And let me know if it's flattering or not, because this has kind of been my hardest like fashion challenge, is trying to wear barrel leg jeans. And I know everybody has at least some form of them or another. So maybe this will be kind of my answer, is to just play with what I already have. And then she was just carrying kind of like, it looked like a Chanel bag or some kind of, almost like a little really squared off bag. And so I just got my, this is the horse. This is the Clementine that they have. And if it had stuff in it, it would definitely be more boxy. It's just empty right now. So I can carry it like this if I want, or I can just hold it like she was holding it. So what do we think? I have a bonus look for you. I thought I was going to do something completely different for my last look, but I thought let's try this instead since I already had the pants on. So I'm going to pop up the picture of the girl with the blue, it's kind of like a cotton or linen button down, and she has just regular khaki kind of barrel leg pants on and just some really simple shoes. So because I didn't have those types of pants, I thought originally I would just show the look because I like brown with blue a lot with these. Now these are a little bit more like a, I don't know, your traditional like slacks, trouser pants. These are actually from Lululemon, but you know, they're kind of a mid-rise to high-rise pant with, you know, they're just a lot more conservative looking, I guess you would say, you know, a lot more like work appropriate. But I was just gonna kind of play off of that a little bit, which I do think would still work for a lot of occasions. I could wear these pants with this shirt and these shoes. And I think I'm gonna do that. So that's great, but it doesn't really give off the casualness that she has. And again, her pants were a little bit more of like a barrel look too. So the difference is between hers and mine, obviously, is that she has a pattern on her top and plain bottoms. So I just flip-flopped that because that's what's in my closet. This is just an all blue linen top. And of course, the camo style, I left them on. I did swap out my shoes though. So I am just wearing like slides, which are, I don't know, maybe a little more casual than the heels with the strap on them. Still something that I wouldn't normally throw on with this look. I would probably go to like a flip-flop or something else. So I'm liking that it's kind of giving the juxtaposition of, you know, just a heel with these types of pants. I wouldn't normally do that. Now, the difference again with the top is that she has a very specific focal point, which I do love, and that's what kind of drew me to the look. However, my top is very cropped and I don't have a long blue top. So I don't think it's the end of the world because again, I like this look more for my body type anyway. But if you have a longer shirt, I love what she did with it. And you could easily play with it, crisscross it. You could put, it looks like she's actually using one of those like ponytail holders that has like the gold chunk on it. That's actually what it looks like she did to tie up her shirt. So you could use something like that. Or you could also, I don't really have a great one, but just to kind of give you an idea, you could take some sort of like a brooch and tie it up and then just hook it there just so that you have the hardware, you know, a little bit of chunkiness on there or whatever you want. I, for one though, I'm not gonna be doing that just because I like this top. So I would just layer up a lot more gold jewelry and have fun with it. I would just throw on maybe like a good stack of necklaces that really kind of stuck out and then add more and more gold jewelry to kind of play off of that a little bit. Again, make it your own. It doesn't have to be exact to what she has. So let me know what you think of this look. That does it for this week's fashion challenge. I hope this video was inspirational for you and it's going to get you into your closet, playing with your clothes, trying new things. What I have found, and I follow a lot of like fashion bloggers and stylists, is that it's the juxtaposition that makes an interesting outfit. It's something unexpected. So for example, like I said, I'm wearing just these very casual, crazy pants, but putting them on with high heels changes everything, or a collared shirt. You know, kind of just be unique with it, just have fun. And obviously I had my own epic fail. That is going to happen and you're gonna know right away. You're gonna look in the mirror and be like, this is a no. But if something sparks and something's like, you know what? I might give this a whirl, you know, just wear it for an hour around the house. See if you get any kind of comments. Or if you're brave, just wear it out to when you go grab coffee, or if you just run a quick errand, something that just kind of gives you that little bit of a push to see if you actually would wear it out of the house. And you can always come back and change if you hate it, you know, not a big deal. All right, thanks again for watching. Make sure you hit like and subscribe before you go. And until next time, I'll see you soon.